Say, man, y'all looking to build some muscle, man? That's good. That's real good. You don't come to the right place then. Hey guys, it's Jason Blaha and it's time for part 5 of the Monday Q&A. So let's finish this up. First question. I asked this on your previous post, but I think it might be more appropriate here, Jason. I was wondering, what are your thoughts, or maybe you've covered it, or can point me to an article or an opinion you share on GMOs, aspartame, etc. Aspartame is safe. This has been studied and studied and studied and studied. And the very few studies that showed problems with it were refuted early on, but they made a lot of publicity and a lot of people have gone crazy over the aspartame. It's a non-issue as far as I'm concerned. It's probably safer than the water you drink today, to be honest. So I don't worry about aspartame. Now, GMOs, truth be told, I really don't know. I have mixed feelings on this. I've seen a lot of data showing, look, they're probably safe. And the truth is, most of them probably are safe. Humans have an extremely adaptable diet. We have the most adaptable diet in GI tract of any species on the earth. The most diverse diet. We can thrive on just about anything. And most of the foods that we eat have undergone so many massive mutations since we've started eating them that they're probably, it's no different really than the GMO stuff. However, when we start messing with that many changes in a short term, and we don't have the long-term studies to where we could take each one of those major changes to that crop and feed it to a person for 70 years and see if they get extra tumors or something and die at 70 from it instead of 80. We don't have the long-term studies to actually show that with each one of these individual changes that have been made through GMO. So while a lot of the data says, hey, they're probably pretty safe, the reality is in the long term, we just do not have the studies to show it. And it's not a popular opinion in the scientific world, but I have a friend who, brilliant, he's more intelligent than me, I'll just put it that way. I'm considered a pretty smart guy. He's a lot smarter than me. And he has a PhD in his field of science, and something I recall him saying is that, you know, he's like, I would love to believe that they're safe also, and they may be the way forward, appear to be the way forward, but we simply do not have the studies to prove it, and he personally avoids GMO. Some people aren't going to like that appeal to authority, but I think that's interesting. Now, I don't personally completely avoid GMO, but I do eat a decent amount of organic stuff. I'm pretty much a mix on it because I really and truly don't know. I really don't. And I know that's not what you guys want to hear, somebody say that they don't know. But the reality is nobody really knows. We don't have the long-term 50 and 60-year studies on each one of these modifications. So we don't know which ones are the truly safe ones and which ones aren't. But I would agree, statistically, when you just look at it from a scientific perspective, it seems reasonable that the majority, the overwhelming majority of these modifications would be safe. But we don't know for a fact that they are. All right, next question. Lower back rehab for someone who has just had a minor strain, but still enough to stop lifting for a week or two. Please, Jason, please. Foam roll the heck out of that lower back. Take hot baths. I mean, really, really hot baths. Soak it in there, particularly after you train. Like foam roll and then go jump in a really hot bath and soak your lower back. It will work wonders in speeding up your recovery. But what you also need to do is you need to figure out why you strained your back. There's something with your technique, or you're not deloading correctly. You've pushed yourself beyond your limits to where you didn't recover and you got too many little micro traumas in your back, because those sort of injuries oftentimes are cumulative. They happen over time. They don't just happen with one bad lift. So there's something you need to address in your program or your technique. Either a core weakness, a muscle weakness, a technique breakdown, or you're not programming your training correctly for your lower back to be recovering. So that's what you also need to work on. All right, next question, which will be the last question of the week. For refeed, what would the timing look like if you wanted to carb up for a big lift? Lifts in the evening, should I refeed the day or the day before? There are mixed opinions on this, and I'm not sure what the right answer is. I personally like the idea of the refeeding before. Just like for me, I did my refeed yesterday, and I had a brutally heavy session this morning with PRs, including deadlift PR. So I like to schedule them the next morning, but with evening it's a little trickier. Maybe do the refeed the day of, and that gives you the full day to refeed into that evening. You'll have nice full glycogen stores, hopefully be fully recovered, and then you'll have the added benefit of getting a good amount of food after to help you recover after that heavy lift and that heavy session also. So really, I could go both ways, but since you're doing it in the evening, I would really lean more towards doing the refeeding the day of the lift. But whereas in morning training, absolutely, the evening before, being able to refeed heavy into that can be really, really nice. So that pretty well covers that. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time. But let me give you guys a bicep shot before I go.